welcome. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Debbie. Now, is it Tamara or Tamara? It's no H on the end, so help me.
It's Tamara.
Okay, because I be like, I was on the live, I was like, Lord, I hope I'm not saying her name wrong.
It's all right. It's like 1,000 ways to pronounce it, so I understand.
Well, welcome, ladies. I am so excited to have you all here. Did you all just get a text message? No? Anybody? Oh, good. I'm Deborah. Hi, lady. How are you?
I'm good. Did you get my message?
I did. As you see, we've been working, child, but I'm
Okay. That's
I,
okay. I just want to make sure you got it. I was like, it's
I
another number.
did.
Okay, we're gonna talk though. Okay.
Yes. So, hi, doctor. All the doctors in the house. All right, so we're gonna get started in just a second. Looks like my team is loading in, so I want to make them co-hosts, and then we can go ahead and get started. Just so you know, I am giving away a prompt. It's an AI prompt for those that stay to the end. You gotta stay to the end. And we decided which prompt that was going to be yesterday. Um, and I believe that was the hold on. I know which one it is. So I'm letting my team know so that we can send that out to each of you all. Um, at the completion of this, I call it a training because it's gonna be more conversational. So Sarah, thank you for joining in. You are co-host, so you'll see when people are trying to join, you can just admit them in. That way I can kind of concentrate on what we got going on. So I appreciate it. Um, there's my other co-host. Then we can get rolling after that. All right. All right, so do me a favor if you are just joining in. We're gonna have a small, intimate group today. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I am going to share my screen just for a little bit, but as we are going, please drop the questions that you have in the chat, and I am going to do my best to try to answer them as we go through the training. And so, all right, we got Dallas, Texas. So we got two from Dallas. Um, and then Mississippi. Let me find out. Okay, Mississippi. Atlanta. Welcome, Jackie. I think I did say that, but if I didn't, hey, Jackie. Is it La Plata, Maryland? I'm not familiar where La Plata is, but I am familiar with Maryland. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I have turned off all my devices, you guys. So this is so funny. So welcome to how to use AI to enhance your webinars. So I want to get you guys to put it in the chat if you're already doing webinars. If you already doing webinars, I want you to put it in the chat for me. I should have put this on the other screen too. So if you're already doing webinars, just type me in the chat just so I can see. Not yet, not yet, not yet. It's all good if you are not yet. Um, all right, cool. I'm planning on my first webinar. Me. Not yet, not oh, okay. I love it here. We love it not yet. So do me a favor. For those of you all that have not yet done your webinar, tell me what is your field or area of expertise in the chat. One of the things that I do like to do is I like to know who it is that I am speaking to so that I can, when we are talking, when we're discussing, I can put it into the frame of mind where you guys understand it. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get rolling. Glad to have you all here. All right. So I apologize if I look this way. The screen, the my slide deck is over on the other side. So it's all good. It's not like this is my first rodeo. All right, so you probably you're here because A, you have tried webinars and they haven't converted for you, or it looks like a lot of you are not really haven't really started to do your webinar. So this is going to be really good for both individuals. Um I've come across some people that are not familiar with how to confidently talk about their offer. How many of you actually already have a signature offer ready to sell? Type of one in the chat. So we've got Jackie in the travel industry, sales and management. Lanicia, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, is leadership confidence. Deborah is video marketing strategy for business and entrepreneurs. And then we have Dr. Tamara. Tamara. Dr. Tamara. Tamara, I'm going to be doing your name. I'm going to be doing like this the whole time. Make sure I get it right. She is a occupational therapist and helping parents adjust to the new role of providing structure and educational milestones and development. All right. So and the beautiful thing about webinars or online training is that it doesn't matter what industry you are in. It works. It works for pretty much any industry. All right. Guys, could you keep an eye out on people trying to get in? All right. So your industry is publishing. We actually have a client that Anissa, we have a client in our current mastermind that is in the publishing space. And we were in an intensive in July, and we identified some areas where she's leaving money on the table. And sure enough, she came back from our 2 day intensive here in Richmond, Virginia, Anissa, and she hosted a webinar with 22 people. 22 people, okay? And ended up selling 4 people into her $3,500 program. But she came back. Her name is Dr. Lena. She came back to tell us that she generated over $12,000. And that was with 20 people that actually registered for the webinar. So publishing, let me tell you, you're definitely in the right place. Oh, right. See? And then a lot of times we kind of feel like we don't want to follow up because it feels pushy or desperate. And then trying to figure out how to get more people to convert into your signature offer. I'm going to be honest with you. It took me a very long time to get into my swing of things where we were consistently enrolling clients into our signature offer. And so, even though that's not going to be the topic of today, but I do have another training where we go into the details about that. All right. So, anyway, here's my story. Drop a 2 in the chat if this is the first time that you've ever attended a training that I have conducted. If this is your very first time being in my space, participating in a training, please drop a 2 in the chat. I can never assume that you know who in a ham sandwich I am. All right. So my name is DeKesha C. Williams, the webinar queen, and I am a 2023 EPSI Award Excellence in Professional Speaking recipient, Best Business Consultant by the Small Business Expo, Women Add Value Recognition Award. I Change Nations. I generated $100,000 in revenue since 2019 minimum before I ever started using ads. All right. Let's make that clear. And so we have built 3 revenue generating brands, including Visions Consulting, which is my coaching and consulting business. Your Outsourcing Club, which a lot of people do not know that we actually have a VA business. And then we've got publishing, Dr. Anissa. So I actually have a publishing business. We have published 5 books, 5 books. And yes, this is time for the shameless plug. Here is our most recent book. And this is the book of launch strategies, how to use webinars in every product launch. So yeah, this is my shameless plug. I did a self-publish of this book. And Dr. Tamara says she's already received her book. Yep, there she is. She said she already received her book and has started reading it. So thank you so much. She said it was good. Let me tell you, I put everything I had into that book. Okay. And so I've also been featured in Connect Women's Magazine, Richmond Times Dispatch, Network and Journal, and several other publications. So I say that to say, y'all are working with a not only a highly decorated but an award winning business strategist. All right. So I am not here to play. Like, I will joke. Okay. I will joke because that's just who I am. I love to have fun while I'm having and doing business. But at the end of the day, I don't play when it comes around to this business and strategy for you guys. All right. So I've been on this journey for a very long time. And, one of the things that I will say is that it has allowed me to be present for my children. If I have any current clients on here, drop an emoji in the chat. And they know I don't play when it comes to my babies, right? So when I started this journey, we're gonna talk about that, Tamara. Listen, we're gonna talk about that. And I love that I love that you said that is what I want, because that just proves my point. Watch this. All right, so I see some of my clients in here, right? So the thing about it is, when I started this journey, they were 5 and 11. Y'all see the picture? Them jokers don't look 5 and 11. They are 25 and 19. Can y'all guess which one is 25? Because actually, baby girl is 25 and my son is the baby. He's 19. And actually, he is on his way to Williamsburg because we've got over 15 people coming to support him to play here in outside of Richmond, Virginia area. So y'all know I'm already excited because as soon as I'm done, it is the weekend. It's family time. My daughter is coming down. But Dr. Tamara, this right here is what I live for. All right. All right. So it's been able to allow me to support both of them. So even though my daughter's 25, she graduated about 2 years ago, but she attended George Washington University in Washington, D.C. on what is it? A collegiate scholarship. Okay. So not only did she get 1 degree, she got 2 degrees, you guys, from George Washington. She got her bachelor's and her master's. But I was able to be on the sideline for pretty much 90% of her meets. And as you can see, Mama don't miss no football game. I did miss Maine last week, y'all, though. That was the one. Mama needed to reset. I needed a minute because I've been to Nashville, Tennessee. I've been to Orlando. I've been to Greensboro twice. Um, and then they were going to Maine. I said, y'all, look, your girl need a break, okay? So we actually ended up doing family time here. Karen, family is everything. Yes, honey, sports kids are expensive. But I have been blessed to have two collegiate athletes that are both on full rides. Can I get an amen in the chat? They are both on full rides. But it has also allowed me to travel. This is BBD James Wetmore. If you are familiar with him, one of my clients invited me to come and help him sell software at this particular conference that you see. And you see this crowd, y'all. And this was a webinar software company. And I helped my client generate over $140,000 in 1 weekend. 1 weekend. All because I understand how to elevate delivery. I understand how to create fast action bonuses. So we're going to talk about that. And if any questions come up, I want you to write them down because I want to make sure that you guys have time to answer them. Now, I will say this. We do have a VIP, so we'll have a special segment towards the end. I will be here as long as I need. I'll get the team to drop that link into the comments for VIP. So let me tell you, if you're just joining, for showing up and staying to the end, we are going to give you one AI prompt. All right, I've already decided on the AI prompt. But for my VIPers, they're going to get 5 AI prompts today just because they upgraded to VIP. All right. And then we'll talk about some other stuff. All right. So here's how this whole webinar thing started for me. To be honest with you, I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. This is not something I said that I want to wake up and I want to own a business. Absolutely not. You know what happened? I found myself driving up 95 North. My chest started to get super tight. I had to pull over on the side of the road. I was a district manager over 13 locations and I could not breathe. I was on my way to visit one of my locations. And fast forward, I believe it was 5 or 7 years. 7 years. I finally went to the doctor, and the doctor told me I had panic attack disorder and anxiety disorder. What? So, mind you, I'm like thinking I'm having a heart attack when all actuality, because of an accident that I had prior to 2005, I now suffer with panic attack. It's still there. And so, but what that did was it took me out of the position for me to go and visit my different locations and visit um my stores. And so I went on leave of absence. And when I first started this business in 2011, 2012, I used to tell people that I'm on leave of absence and I'm still on leave of absence. So I want you to type in the chat hashtag longest leave ever. It wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago that I actually really started to tell people, you know, why I went on leave of absence. And so it's very important as we were going to talk about the 4 elements of why I went on this leave of absence, right? And so what that did was it put me in a position where now I couldn't afford to take care of my children's back to school supplies. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine how crushed as a parent I am that it's back to school and I have no idea how I'm going to get them their school supplies? But if you know me, y'all know giving up is not an option. And so I was on like Facebook and, kind of perusing and ended up being recruited by this team in Maryland. And I used to drive to Maryland to teach entrepreneurs how to make 6 figures in their business using webinars. This is when anybody know about WordPress and plugins? Just type yes in the chat. Like I'm giving my business age right now. If you know anything about WordPress and plugins, that's how long I've been in this space. Hey, Crystal. And so the way that my level of integrity is set up, there was no way that I could see myself. You still using WordPress and plugins? There was no way I could see myself teaching people how to make 6 figures if I wasn't making 6 figures myself. All right. So here's what we did. A team of us got together and did 8 webinars in 30 days. I want you to type 30 days in the chat. 8 webinars in 30 days. I know. I can't even get some of y'all to do one. I know it. We ended up generating $15,000 in commission. Now watch this. What if I could have kept the 60% that the other business was able to keep, right? So that's when I realized, I said, wait a minute, this thing might actually work. Like these webinars may actually work. So here's what I did. Once I made that $15,000, I had me a little money to put into the business now, right? Now, mind you, this was like 2014, okay? So we first started doing webinars using the webinar challenge, all right? So we did a 5-day challenge. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I did a webinar on the final day. On that final day, we did our webinar presentation and we invited people to work with us. Write that down. That's an important piece. We invited people to work with us. The first time we did this, we generated $10,000. And I was so excited. All right, we generated $10,000. And that's when I said, oh, wait a minute. That's kind of like a system going on here. And so I documented the entire process. If you can't tell, I got a little bit of operations in me, y'all. Just a little bit of operations in me because I'm documenting processes here, okay? And so we rinsed and repeat. And I was invited to speak. I remember it's February 2019. I was invited to speak at the Black CEO 19 conference. And so we had just wrapped up another webinar challenge, did another webinar pitch, closed some people, but I also pitched the same product from this speaking engagement. So now we layered on a speaking engagement with the webinar presentation, and we closed $24,000. Now, most people be like, yeah, woohoo! I was a little upset. You want to know why I was upset? Because they say in order to make $100,000 in a year, how much you got to make? What is it? $833 a week or something like that? $8,333 a month. Well, if I wanted to do $100,000 a year, I was $1,000 short, and I was upset. So we did it again. We did it again. This time when we did the rinse and repeat, we changed a couple of things, which is what you should do when you are launching, and we ended up generating $35,000. And so we were able to generate $69,000 in 7 months using webinars in our business. And that's what has coined me as the webinar queen. All right. So one thing I will tell you is one program will change your life if you let it. I want you to write that down. And I say that because one of my clients slash keynote speakers used to say this to me all the time. He always used to say, be like a stamp, stick to one thing until it delivers. I'm going to say that again. Be like a stamp, stick to one thing until it delivers. All right. So we are going to get into the core of today's messaging, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background about who I am, why I'm on this journey, and then how we're getting ready to elevate this for you. Some who are already using webinars, some that are looking to start doing their webinars. And so what my goal is today is to help you use AI to enhance. All right. Now, if you have not created your webinar presentation, that is fine. This will be able to help you from beginning to end. All right. So you probably found yourself struggling to generate revenue or consistent revenue in your business, or you're trying to figure out, how do I convert more clients into my signature program? If you can relate to that, type me in the chat, please. I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right people. All right, so what we did was, well, let me make my promise first. By the end of today, you should be able to understand how to use AI to understand your audience psychographics, pain points, and motivation. So this is with Dr. Tamra. This is something that she had pointed on. I'm going to share with you in a second. How to package your expertise into a high converting webinar. How to use AI to structure your offer that your audience can resonate with. And then the bonus piece, I went on ahead and threw some bonus content in there for y'all today. I felt good today. All right. I felt good today. I felt generous. Let me say that. I felt generous after I did my hour-long live yesterday. Talking to Dr. Tamara. You were hanging out with me yesterday on my live. So I felt generous. And I said I was going to give y'all some bonus content. Is that okay with you? Dr. Nissa, you are welcome. Jackie, you are welcome. All right. So now listen, I'm going to tell you straight up, no chaser. If you are not willing to implement, if you are not willing to do the work, if you're not ready to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, also willing to get comfortable with understanding and knowing your worth, all right? Then, or you're looking for a quick fix, this ain't it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is not it, okay? Hey Tiffany, I see you over there. I see some of my clients popping up in here. All right, so now, I don't think that that's any of you guys. All right. I don't think that's any of you all. Now, some of you might be thinking, will this work for me? And the answer is yes. Some of you all might say, well, I don't have a big list. I don't have a big audience. And that's perfect. That's fine. So let me ask you, there was a lot of people that this is your very first time being in a training with me. So let me ask you this, put this in the chat. How did you find out who I am? Where did you first get introduced to me? What platform did you find me on? All right. I'm gonna show you why you don't need a big audience. All right. So what if my program isn't done? Sell it, then service it. But we'll talk about that. Okay. You found me on LinkedIn, Facebook. There's plenty of you on here. Y'all must can't type. Y'all must not in a situation where you can type. But I do want to know. Um, or some people are saying, well, now's not the right time. If not now, then when? If you wait for everything to be perfect, you're going to continue to be in the same spot that you were 6 months ago or 12 months ago. I'm just saying, I'm trying to tell you, if y'all are sensitive, this might not be the place for you. You got to have your steel toe shoes on when you come in the room with me. I'm just saying. All right, so let's get to the meat of this training. All right. So core is the methodology that we are going to be using to teach using AI in your business. If you can still see my screen, type yes, that's cool. You are hunting from the beginning of time, yes, and don't start telling stories on here. I'm gonna mute you. So core is clarify your audience. I want you to write that down. Um, Organize your offer, reframe your content. Oh, you can't see it. It didn't cut it off. And then so that's why I'm gonna read it to you. And then elevate the delivery. So let me read that again. Number one is clarify your audience. We're gonna talk about all four areas today. Number two is organize your offer. Number three is reframe your content, and number four is to elevate your delivery. You got all of that? So let me go to the next slide. So hopefully you can see it on that one. All right, cool beans. All right, so listen. All right, that's better. And if you want to take a screenshot, all you gotta do is, just tell me in the chat that you want to take a screenshot so you can get my good side. Just plain. All right, so core is the framework that we use to teach how to implement or use AI powered approach to literally designing and developing your webinar presentation. Now, we have broken this down into 4 key areas. And to be quite honest with you, it goes right along with the 3 areas of a webinar. So if you've ever heard me teach about the 3 elements or 3 containers that every webinar has, that is your connection, that is your content, and that is your close. Okay, I'll say it again. That is your connection, that is your content, and then you have the close. So we're going to start with the clarifying audience, because understanding this is going to help you create the connection. Then we'll talk about the content, which it goes a little bit backwards, and I'll tell you why, which is number 3. Okay, so we'll show you how AI can reframe your content and use frameworks. And then we'll talk about the offer, which normally I teach it, like I said, connection, content, close. But here's what I started to realize is that you have to start with the end in mind. You have to start with the end in mind. You can't develop a high converting, profitable presentation. I don't care if it's for a webinar, a workshop, or a challenge. You can't create a profitable presentation until you know what the offer is. Tiffany spent 2 days with me in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I showed you guys earlier how important my family is to me. She actually ended up going with me to see my son, as she's a graduate of North Carolina A&T. So that's how my family is. Like, when you become a client in this space, we family, y'all. We family. So she got to hang out with myself and took pictures with my son after the game and all that fun stuff. Anywho, I digress. But we definitely enjoyed having her. But one of the things that I realized is that you have to start with the end in mind. And so that means that we've got to help develop the offer if you're not clear on it. And that's one of the things that we helped Tiffany do when she came to Greensboro. We spent 2 days, and she actually created a brand new program, which she's developing her webinar for, if she's not already done her webinar. And then she's going to be presenting that and selling her brand new offer. And so as I help my clients, I realize that sometimes you have to kind of reassess how you do things. So that's when we started to realize, okay, well, wait a minute. Let's go backwards for a second. And then the last thing that I'm going to teach you guys today is how to deliver with authentic impact, and you can use enhanced storytelling. So as we go through each of these ones, I'll kind of give you examples, and I'll even give you some behind the scenes of what we did over the last week. Is that all right with you all? I'll give you some behind the scenes of how we even got here today. All right, so like I said, clarify the audience is number one. Leverage AI to analyze psychographics and uncover deep audience insights. Um, Number two, organize your offer to structure. Sorry, I'm trying to move all this stuff out of my way. Structure compelling offers with AI optimized pricing and bonus strategies. And then number three, reframe your content, transform your expertise into memorable frameworks using AI content. Question as we are going into the next piece. How many of you have been in business for over 5 years? Type five in the chat. How many of you have been in business for over 10 years? Type 10 in the chat. You can put a plus if you've been in business over that. Less than a year. Put one in the chat. Okay, we got four. Okay, we got a lot of five, 10. Go on, Jackie. 4, 10. Lanicia, I hope I'm saying your name correct. Kind of 1.5. Okay, 1.5. Or kind of a half. So maybe 6 months. You've been in business 6 months.
I totally went a different direction with my business. That's what happened. So it was a year and then I switched to directions and now I just started that about 3 months ago, the new direction.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, welcome. I love it. Listen, I was talking to Candace. Candace is on here. We were doing a quarterly call for the mastermind, and I was telling her, listen, when I started out in business, I was doing business plans. Then I had an online shoe company. Then I started consulting. Okay. And then it converted over to webinars. So trust me, since 2011, I did not start out with webinars, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. So let's dive into the clarifying audience piece, okay? And so this is the one prompt that everybody's going to get for staying to the end. And understanding and clarifying the audience is doing a deep dive of research. We call it market research. And you can do this through AI analysis. One of the things that I shared yesterday on the live, and my business bestie was on the live, she actually implemented it as soon as she got off the call. But one of the things that I shared yesterday, especially for you guys that have been in business for over 2 and 3 years, have you ever thought about taking the transcriptions from sales calls that you have, using AI to summarize those sales calls to give you the pain points on the psychographics of your audience, right? And that's something that you can do so you can get crystal clear on who your audience is. Yes, interesting strategy, right? So watch this. When you guys came on, I shared with you my story, my background, because one of the things that I noticed is that like-minded individuals attract like-minded individuals. So one of the things I know is I attract people who want to have a lifestyle business. They want to be able to operate their business, but they also want to fulfill their desires and their dreams, but they want their business to funnel it. And if I go back in the chat, one of the things that Dr. Tamara said is, that is what I want, right? So now I can understand her psychographics, not how old she is, not how much money she has, not where she lives. Those are demographics. And I think as entrepreneurs, we do not take enough time to understand the psychographics. That is the values, the belief, and lifestyle patterns that influence their purchasing decision. This information, oh, I'm finna teach today. This information is so good when it comes time for your close. Listen to what I'm saying. That is how you understand which key points to hit when you're delivering your close. Now it doesn't have to be uncomfortable because you already understand who your audience is, what they're looking for, and what drives them to make the purchase. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? You can type yes in the chat. Or otherwise, I can get off for this Friday. I'm just playing. I ain't even finished. All right. So the other thing about it is if you were to do this exercise, you would also be able to discover what the most frequent pain point is. One of the things that we identified this year is our audience is struggling to convert people into their signature offer. Our audience is struggling to understand what their signature offer is. Even what is their client journey? And so we've made adjustments to make sure that we speak to our audience. And we made sure that we made adjustments in our marketing and our language and our teaching to make sure that we speak directly to the pain points that they're having. All right. And then the other thing is, this is very important too, is the language trend. One of the clients that we've used to actually create this entire process, she comes from a space in corporate America, and oftentimes we find ourselves using industry jargon, right? So, but if you take the prompt, you can pull out your client's language and use their language in your marketing. A lot of times we want to talk about company jargon. And I'll give you an example. I don't know if she is on here, but she does data governance. Type in the chat if you know what data governance is. Just tell me yes. I don't even know how many people on here. Y'all know what data governance is? Y'all looking at me shaking your head like what? All right. So I prove my point. All right. That's industry jargon for her. But if I asked you, Deborah, how do you secure your client's information in your business? You understand what I'm talking about now. So that's what I mean by language analysis. Being able to speak in a language in which your audience understands exactly what you're talking about. And you can extract that information when you're using the what we call the AI. Hold on, let me pull it back up real quick. It's the AI prompt for analyzing your ideal client. So let me go to the next slide. And these, so the prompts that you see on the slide are not exactly the same. Uh-oh. 1 second, please. I thought I had it pulled up. Company or industry jargon will cause me to ghost you. No, I mean, and I'm glad you said that. I was like, listen, sweetie, nobody knows what data governance is. And I kept questioning myself. I'm like, well, maybe it's just me. I was like, nah, that's not me. No, nobody knows what that is. So that was something that we had to work with her on, and so that she could understand, like, you got to speak in a language. Dr. Nissa, you say you disappear. All right, let me look at my prompt library. Um, so we left the slide open. So I'm gonna show you this. Let me share. Let me stop sharing. I knew this was gonna happen because there's so much that I want to share with you guys. Stop sharing. Come on, computer. Whole thing. This thing working overtime. Hey, Deronda. Crystal, of all people, I knew that you would probably understand what data governance was, only because of your background. All right, so this is our AI prompt library. As you can see, it's about, I don't know.
DeKesha, we're seeing a black screen that says double click
Uh-oh.
here.
I just saw it in the bottom. My computer is working hard and is breathing hard. All right, let me try this again. I really don't want to share my whole screen. Oh, here we go.
Please stand by, but we experience technical difficulties. I'm just joking. There you go. You're good now.
All right, so can you see that now?
You're locked and loaded.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is the AI prompt library for the webinar and offer development. So, um, there is one in here. Yep. So I think this is the one that we're giving at the end of the day. So I'm gonna stop it real quick because I know somebody might try to screenshot it and don't want to wait till the end. You gotta wait till the end. um, but as you will see, it will say like target market refinement. The prompt is the industry to this will help you find people in a particular industry and identify the job title that matches so that when you do either organic marketing that you can identify the actual job title that you are looking for. um the other one is pain point excavation. I hope I'm saying that right. Specific problems, example generator. So my target audience is one general problem they face is, and then you can generate 5 specific concrete examples of how this problem shows up in their daily work. So you remember as soon as you guys got on to the webinar, I specifically listed if you are dealing with this, then you're in the right place. That's what that prompt is for. That prompt is designed to make sure that you are speaking directly to the problems that your ideal client is having. So what we've ended up doing, here it is. We've ended up creating pretty much a prompt for every aspect of your webinar presentation. Now, these are not the exact ones. These are just examples, but not to say they're not good examples. But these are just some practical AI prompts for clarifying your audience. So, for example, we talked about earlier pain point analysis. Analyze these 10 client discovery call transcript and identify the top recurring, problems that they have. So that's kind of what I was talking to you about earlier. And then fear identification. Review. Uh-oh, I think I closed my oh no, I didn't. Review the last customer emails and identify the top 3 fears or concerns that prevent purchasing decisions. Motivation mapping. Based on customer success stories and testimonial, list the top 5 psychographic motivators for our target audience. Include both rational and emotional drivers. So again, these are things that you can utilize to help you as you deliver your actual close. Does that make sense? Head nod or type yes in the chat. Chat somewhere around here. I got too much stuff open. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Wow, I gotta look at the time. All right, we're gonna keep moving, but I'm not gonna breeze through it because I want to make sure you get it. All right. Organizing your offer. So one of the things a lot of people struggle with is suggestions if you don't have transcript history. So that's a great question. And I knew it was going to be somebody that does not. So one of the things that I want you to do is as you start to have more conversations, start to record those conversations. If you don't have conversations, hopefully you keep track of conversations you had in the past. For an example, I have a CRM. Every person that I've talked to in my CRM, I have notes. So if you have notes, not necessarily the transcript, let's start with the notes. Anything you can start with works better than nothing. So it's a great question. You can rock it out, Cam. All right. All right. So now we're going to create a compelling offer. So once you identify what your ideal client is struggling with, we have created a process that helps you organize your offer. And if you want that offer to be a framework, if you want that offer to be when I say framework, it's like an acronym. So we created Tabitha. I don't think Tabitha's on today, but Tabitha is one of our mastermind members. She came in to the July 2-day workshop. We created her entire signature offer on day 1. So she is a notary and she created a program. It's called SEAL. SEAL. Get it? Notary seal, Crystal? No, mind. Anyway, so we created the seal program, and she can actually use it for existing notaries and then people that want to become a notary. She is currently about, I'd say 90% away from having a six-figure notary business. And the day we had our discovery call, she had no idea how much money she was making. She was just going out here doing closing. She's making close to $8,000 a month doing notary. Notary, y'all. But she wanted to make some additional revenue in her business. So we literally took her through the process of, well, let's identify how can we package your expertise, right? Um, and how can we create a customer journey where they're coming into your ecosystem to work with you? And then once we determine, okay, well, let's put together your signature offer. Well, what does the value stack look like? This is the biggest problem that most people who pitch have. They do not understand how to put together a value stack. And not to mention bonuses. What's going to be your bonus? How do you even pick a bonus? Right? So the key to mapping out every element of your offer before creating content, this includes your core deliverables, even how to price it, your bonus, and then how to make that seamless transition into transition from problem identification to solution presentation. And I always used to say, I don't think anybody is on here that was with me in July, but I always used to say, promote the problem and service the solution. That's what you have to do. All right. You have to promote the problem and service the solution. So whatever the solution to the problem is, that should be your core offer. Question: would you suggest interviewing prior clients and asking what their pain points, fears, etc. may have been, and then use that data? In my case, what kept you from publishing your signature book sooner? Oh, that would be a good one. Definitely. If you can get them on a quick call and just let them know, hey, I'm doing a survey. Um, yeah, I would try it. At least you'll start. Any type of data is great data. Okay? Any type of data is great data. All right. So, uh-oh, go back. Now wait a minute. The computer just having its own little time. One more. All right, so organizing practical AI prompts. These AI prompts will structure compelling offers. So you can do a journey optimization, so you can map the complete customer journey. But again, you have to understand how do you want to package it first. So once you determine what the offer is, and I will talk about how we can help you through that if that's something that you struggle with. And then a bonus. I have a very, very specific way that we create our bonuses for our clients. And then a lot of people struggle with how to price their expertise. Um, and I'll put it to you like this: the way that we price houses, the closer they get to you, the more expensive it costs. It's no cute saying, and ain't no fancy saying, but the closer that they work with you, meaning one-on-one, the higher the price point. Okay. It was something else I wanted to share about the journey. I had it and it's gone. Hopefully it'll come back before our time. All right, so reframe your content. So we talked about how to identify the psychographics for your audience. That's going to help you put together the information for your offer and when you pitch to them. All right. Oh, I know what it was. I was talking about the value stack. So one of the things that I do is I review webinar presentations. We do a webinar analysis. We charge for it. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is at the end when they close. That's one of the biggest mistakes every single time, guaranteed. All right. I just want to let y'all know that, like if you can get your clothes, even if you do a horrible job, I ain't gonna say it's gonna work every time, but you have a better opportunity at closing on the end. All right, so adjusting and reframing your content. So now we're on the OR. We're on the R, of course. So we're getting ready to wrap it on up. And then again, if anyone else upgraded to VIP, I don't know. I will allow you to ask very specific questions about your business and you will get the 5 prompts as well. Um, and those are not the prompts that are in these slides. I can tell you that now. What else was it? Oh, so transform expertise into compelling frameworks. So people buy processes. Write that down. People buy processes. They want to know that your process, your framework will help them reach their goals. Period, point blank. So again, one of our clients that we're doing her entire webinar funnel build out, this is a one-on-one process that we're doing. We created a framework. I talked to you earlier that she teaches data governance, right? So we created a framework called data. And so we created the acronym or whatever. So it makes it easier for her to be able to teach the content. Yeah, you can go put in AI, create a webinar on, and I did this yesterday, create a webinar on using AI in webinars and give me the Russell Brunson perfect webinar funnel. And it was so super basic. It was so super basic. And it just basically mapped out what he laid out in his book, right? What is it? Expert Secrets? Expert Secrets. Yes, Expert Secret Tracker Secrets. And so one of the things that I realized is a lot of people are using it wrong. Like, yeah, you can go in and say, give me a framework for a webinar using Russell Brunson's, perfect webinar style, but he's going to give you a very, very generic outline. And then it's going to tell you what's your secrets. Well, again, if you don't go through this process that I'm telling you, you're going to be trying to create secrets that have nothing to do with you trying to sell. And I've seen it time and time before. All right. So that's why it's very important to develop the offer, because once you develop the offer, you create the content that goes along with the offer. That's where it talks about going from problem awareness to solution implementation. It's called content sequencing. So we want to make sure that everything we talk about in the presentation or the training, it directly correlates to what we're going to sell or what we're going to offer them at the end of the actual presentation. And then you want to make sure that you bridge the gap between the two. Because I'm going to tell you now, this is honestly where people drop the ball. So if you have several offers, how do you decide which offer to build off? So that's where the signature offer comes into place. You start with the signature offer. That's one of the reasons I tell people. Remember we talked about in the offer on the last slide, the customer journey. We always start with our signature offer. That's kind of where we get people into our ecosystem. So great question. You should be looking at what your signature offer is. All right. So great question. All right. Then, so this is a sample of the acronym generation. I mean, of course, that one's kind of simplistic, but that's a sample that you can use. For each of the step words, create some structure, transition crafting, and then implementation focus. So these are some examples of content structuring prompts that will help you transform your expertise into engaging, memorable frameworks. The last piece is elevate your delivery. I am a certified grief recovery specialist, which is a 7-week program. I am also a offer rock solid resilience 10-week program. They are two separate standalone programs that people can purchase both. Can I do a webinar that addresses both? Absolutely. Yes, you can. So you have a 7-week program and a 10-week program. I actually wouldn't do both. I mean, I wouldn't do, I take that back because it's two totally different programs. Grief recovery, which is a 7-week, and then that's two different audiences. No, same audience. Resilience after grief. Oh, well, it sounds like that's a part of the customer journey. It sounds like more of an upsell than anything else to me. Um, would you suggest the signature offer be a baseline package that would be applicable to most in your target market? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So when I look at a signature offer, I look at what can I do to help eliminate the immediate pain. what can I do to eliminate the immediate pain? We could get into deeper conversation, Karen, in a VIP session if you like. I'm not sure if you upgraded, but those are some great questions, and I can give you very direct feedback on it. Authentic delivery with AI enhancement. So, this is your close. Not necessarily your close, but this is overall how you deliver your entire presentation. And so, one of the things that's very important, you notice I tell a lot of stories. I integrate a lot of testimonials. Um, you can use AI to enhance those. Sometimes I will put in my prompt for my testimonials. So, for an example, I like for my testimonials to be very, very structured. So, for an example, if Crystal Carter gives me a um, testimonial, I don't want her to be like, "Oh my God, working with DeKesha was absolutely amazing." No, that is not what I want my testimonial to be. I want Crystal to tell me, when I started working with DeKesha, this is what I was doing. I was making, I don't know, it doesn't have to necessarily be, I was confused about my signature offer, but after spending 2 days with DeKesha, I'm crystal clear. Oh, she came to our January intensive. I was crystal clear on the offer that, no, we want, no, not those stories, Crystal. I was crystal clear when I got back on what I was going to launch, right? And ever since then, I've done 3 webinars and generated XYZ. So I'm very structured on my testimonials. I don't just let my people just get in and be like, "Oh yeah, yep, I've been working with DeKesha. Mm-hmm. Yep, been working with her for X amount of time." And no, so I want to make sure when I place those, they are strategically placed in the presentation. Um, replay available. Replay is available for VIP purchasers. Replay is available for VIP purchasers. You at the nail shop. All right. So testimonial placement. Ain't nothing wrong with that, okay? Also, like we talked about story integration, voice calibration as well. I always pay attention to when people get to the close and the opening. So you want to make sure that you stay enthusiastic throughout this entire process. Yes, AI can help you create some of the stories that you tell. I actually have a bot that is a story bank. So if I'm teaching something, you tell a story to prove a point. So if I put one of these points in my story bank, hey, give me a story that I've told in my training that relates to this particular point. So yes, I have created AI agents in my team. I don't know how many of our, I think Sherry's here. Sherry's here, Tiffany's here. They've used our AI agents. So some of our AI agents, let me see if I can pull up. Oh, here we go, sharing the screen again. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. These are all my agents that are available to our mastermind members. And they be acting like they don't know they exist. So I'm gonna show you. So I love AI agents, y'all. I'll show you some that I've created that help our mastermind members. We might have to throw some of these in. Oh, I knew it was God. God never fails. You'll see why. I'll tell y'all why in a second. So GPTs. See more. Nope. Oh, so I want them bigger for y'all. Oh, explore. Here they go. Can y'all see my screen now? My GPTs. I think you should see my full screen. All right. So some that we give access to, and I can't see the chat if y'all talking to me. Hold on. All right. Come on, screen. So they have I can't even think of his name. Help me, Latoya. Is Latoya still here? That does the signature offer. God, I can't think of his name. We also have the Jesus. Come on, computer, don't let me down. So these are all the bots over here. As you can see. But I can't show you the ones that I have for them. It won't load. It must wasn't meant for you all to see. Sorry. Oh, there they go. All right. So which ones are in our program? As y'all can see, I love to create bots. So I got a webinar closing slide prompt library. So they get Melissa. So they get Melissa. So if they're struggling with their messaging, they get the Melissa message makeover specialist. Sonia, that's what I was trying to think of. Sonia is who Sherry and Tiffany used in Greensboro, North Carolina a couple of weeks ago when we did a 2-day intensive. It helps the users create and price a signature offer based on their unique framework. They also have, it's a guy in here that I'm trying to think of that I cannot think of his name to save my life. But we have Sonia, Melissa. I use Perlene. Perlene is the press release writer. So as you can see, we love to use AI in our business. George. George is the Get Ish Done launch planner. So that is one of the other ones. So if you don't know anything about me, when I started on this journey in the very beginning, when I told you guys that I use a 12-week launch strategy and I documented the process, I put that entire process into George. So if any of them are doing a launch, they can go in and put that launch into George, and George will tell them exactly what they need to do for the next 12 weeks or 8 weeks to get that program launched. I knew it was something. I cannot get George's name out to save my life. All right, let's keep rolling on because we are wrapping up and I want to be respectful of your time. All right, so we talked about the Elevate Delivery, which is the E in core. And then I'll give you a recap on core. And then I'll give you a special opportunity if you want to implement this in your business. So the full core recap is to clarify your audience. This is going back to the psychographics, the pain points, the motivations through AI powered analysis, the offer, strategically structured offers with optimized pricing, bonuses, and friction free customer journeys. Can y'all see? Okay, I see somebody. I think I signed up for VIP. Should have gotten the additional email. Yes, I know that you are VIP. So as soon as I am done, I'm going to open it up. So whatever questions that you have, you're good to go. I saw yours. The reframe content, memorable frameworks, logical content flow, that transfers expertise into actionable items. And then of course the elevate delivery, which is the authentic, engaging presentation. Sarah, make sure that you keep track. Number one, who stays to the end. Number two, the VIPs. So we'll know who to give the additional AI prompts to as well. All right. Perfect. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. All right. And so impactful webinars that seamlessly blend your personal expertise with AI powered optimization, creating presentations that educate, engage, and convert. Listen, I started this journey with a program called Webinar Success Blueprint. We turned it into high converting webinars, and now we're getting ready to upgrade to using AI with webinars. So if using AI using the core framework, all it helped you do was enroll 3 to 5 clients in the next 60 days, would it be worth it to you? Type a yes in the chat if it would be worth it to you. If all it did was gave you a confident way to talk about your offer and open up the opportunity to work with you, would it be worth it to you? Even if it was to create consistent income without like a full blast launch, would it be worth to you? And if it was to give you a repeatable process, would it be worth it to you? All right. So this is the Sell Your Signature Offer Accelerator. This is a brand new program plus some additional stuff in there. And I have a surprise bonus. And I was thinking the whole time, like, Lord, show me what the secret bonus or the juicy bonus is going to be. That's why I was like, y'all don't understand. So here's what's included, and I promise you it's not going to break the bank. Here's what's included with the Sell Your Signature Offer Accelerator. So, as you know, if you participated yesterday or not, I have reverse engineered the entire way that I produce a complete webinar funnel for my clients. And I literally took the entire process and documented it. So now we have a complete webinar offer development workbook. I promise you, it's about 40 to 50 something pages. And it's a fill-in workbook for you to put together your entire webinar. And so now we're selling it. Yep. And so with that, we created an AI prompt library. I showed it just yesterday, and I put it in a video on social media for every aspect of your webinar. So it is a PDF, so it's for the target market, your pain point, your stories, your offer development, content frameworks, any type of supporting content creation, your offer pitch deck, social media content, presentation preparation, and then we've got some advanced prompts. But this bad boy is about 26 pages worth of 50 prompts that we will give you access to. So what we did was we mapped it out into an 8-week process, and so you'll get 4 coaching calls. They'll be about 90 minutes each, and you'll get private access, private community access. We use Slack. So all of our mastermind clients and tribe members are in Slack as well. So you'll get access to it. And these are the additional tools that you're going to get with the Sell Your Signature Offer Accelerator. And what this is going to do is not only help you put together your webinar presentation, but it's also going to help you refine your offer. And you guys got a lot of questions about what the signature offer is and where should I put it. So we're going to help you make sure that you identify who the ideal client is, right? That signature offer, we want to make sure that you have a offer stack that resonates with your audience. This is where people make the biggest mistake. So I'm giving you all the templates that I've used and implement not only for today, but what we've been doing for the last 8 and 9 years. So your framework development worksheet, like we have the core framework. We created data framework for Tina. We created the seal core offer for Tabitha. We're going to give you the process on how to do that. We'll give you the templates for your presentation. We'll put them in Canva for you. We'll actually customize them. Sarah, make sure you make a note of that, because I'll be promising stuff and I'll be forgetting. Email sequences, all the emails that we send out, I'll give you like the actual ones that we use so that your languaging makes sure that it matches. All right. We've got some templates for social media content calendar. I even have a whole webinar launch checklist so that you can make sure that you can listen before you launch. These are the things that we do. We actually created a whole SOP about 2 weeks ago. I think we should throw the SOP in. What do you think? My team is here. What y'all think? But they have to purchase it today. This ain't even a bonus that's on the slide. So the bonuses that actually come with it is the webinar tech setup guide. Shows you a lot of people have questions about webinar tech and all that kind of stuff. So we have a guide for you. Whether you want to use Zoom or you want to use you say yes, give it to them. All right, the team say give y'all my whole SOP. So you gotta put it down, write it down so I won't forget. Whatever other webinar platform you want to use. Here's the other thing too is this is a piece that people mess up too is once you've done the webinar, do you know how to analyze whether the webinar was great or not? No. StreamYard, no, that is not a webinar platform. I have a whole video on webinar platforms. No, that is not a webinar platform. So one of the bonuses that will give you conversion rate benchmarks by industry. But we also have, I've created a post-webinar analysis template with an addition of the analysis bot that I have as well. And we'll make sure that you get that as a bonus today as well. There's a prompt that helps you to deal with objections. How many of you kind of struggle when it comes with, oh, well, I don't know what to say when they say I got to talk to my husband or I got to talk to my wife. We'll give you the scripts. How about that? We'll give you the scripts. The support, what does the support looks like? You get access to Slack community. We do have office hours. If you have any issues with your AI prompts, we'll assist you with that. Peer accountability, of course, that comes with the community. I'm all about community. And then hot seat coaching on any of our calls. All right. Now, here are the bonuses. I'm pretty proud of myself. Latoya, what you think? All right. Let me make sure I put the right ones on the slide. All right. So here we go, y'all. Bonus number 1. For anybody that's struggling with your offer and you decide to join our Sell Your Signature Offer Accelerator, everything is virtual, all right? I'm going to give you a 90-minute offer acceleration session. This is going to be a live bonus training where I personally walk you through refining your offer so you can hit the ground running with absolute clarity. Is that cool? Yes or yes? You can type it in the chat. I don't know. It's just me. I see some thumbs up. All right, I'm just checking. Now, this one, what if you had a plug and play webinar funnel template? Like registration page, landing page, emails, thank you page script. So you can launch your funnel in days, not weeks. What if y'all want the funnel? I'm telling you, I was sitting here trying to figure out what I was finna give y'all. Like, for real. I'm been sitting here the whole time like, when am I going to get these people? Now, this is the best one. She said, funnel me, please. This is the best one. Now, this is only for those that pay in full today. This is only for those that pay in full today. Oh, I forgot. The QR code is at the bottom. So if you want to see, like, it's a crazy price. It's not expensive. This is like those one-time, let's get it going. But this is the VIP backstage pass. So let me tell y'all. How many of you want an evergreen webinar? Type evergreen in the chat. How many of you want to make money when you sleep? Type sleep in the chat. Let me say it like that. Let me use the language that you can relate to. Okay? If you want to make money in your sleep, type sleep in the chat. So what I did was I finally put together a evergreen webinar that when we drive traffic to it, it converts every single time. Jackie, I don't know if Jackie was with me when I had an evergreen webinar running at this event that we were in Atlanta. We were out by the pool and we were just hanging out by the pool. But I had my phone because people were commenting on my webinar and we actually did a conversion and I sold 4 packages that week. All right, 4 packages that week from the automated. Yes, so you do remember. While we were drinking wine, the Evergreen webinar was running while I was in Atlanta. So for anyone that joins the Sell Your Signature Offer Accelerator, we're going to do the whole VIP pack backstage pass. And this is only for the people that pay in full. So we'll do an exclusive training and I'll reveal to you how you take your live webinar and turn it into an evergreen cash machine so that you can sell on autopilot while focusing on selling or serving your clients. Is that, I think that's great. I think that right there, I think that alone is like bananas. All right, so you got 1 or 2 choices, y'all. You can continue to try to do this by yourself, or you can work with an expert who's been doing this, like I told you, for over 14 years now. If my son was 5, he's 19, so almost 15 years. So you can try to do it on, you can try to Google it, you can try to YouTube University, but you're gonna only get so far doing YouTube University. So I have the QR code. I'm gonna pull the QR code back up. The team can drop the link to the actual form. But again, today only, because once we end today, y'all, I'm going into football mode. We'll give you the plug and play webinar funnel template, the entire thing, webinar registration page, your thank you. Let me go back to the page so I can tell y'all because I don't want to mess it up. Go back up. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. I just skipped some pages. I skipped all the way to the end. So today only is the plug and play webinar funnel templates, landing page copy, registration confirmation emails, and thank you page scripts. So it's only $14.97. It's only $14.97. If you can't do the $14.97, you can make, I believe it's four or five, $397. So you can get started for as low as $397 today. The QR code is there. I don't know. Oh, I was going to say the team is going to put the link in the chat. So again, enroll by today. You can receive VIP backstage pass. That's for those that pay in full. Evergreen webinar secrets. Also today, by the time I close this Zoom, plug and play webinar funnel templates. And so the juicy bonus, I was like, what will I give them? What will I give them? So I believe that you all should get access to, I forgot his name that fast. Hold on. George, the Get Ish Done launch planner. Yup. Dr. Tamara said, George. Y'all believe that you all should get access to George. And I believe that you all should get access to Sonia, who's also the signature offer coach. So those are the two juicy bones. So Sarah, write that down. For today, before we close, girl, listen, I'm giving away the kitchen sink today. So before we close this Zoom on, we still have some time. George, the Get It Done launch planner, and then Sonia, the signature offer coach, will be included as a fast action bonus. All right. So I've already told you already got two choices. So you can either keep trying to DIY it, or you can plug into a proven system that already has helped entrepreneurs hit 30K months and going. So the question is, how much longer are you willing to wait for the results that you want? Yeah, Sonia, Tiffany know what time it is. So the picture you see is the one on the right is of our January 2-day intensive. There go Crystal. Crystal, you see yourself? All right, and then the other one is our book launch. We got some we had some clients in there as well. So I'm not closing out, but I always say at Visions Consulting, we are passionate about your success. We value your time, your expertise, and your purpose. We strive to see you become profitable. If you know me, if you know me, you know I always close everything I do, and I say be passionate, be purposeful, but more importantly, be profitable. So please make sure that you follow me on any social media. We've dropped the link in there. I am going to open it up for those that did the upgrade. I know Dr. Tamara, you are one of the first ones. So I'm going to come to you first with any very specific questions that you have. And then we'll go to Anissa, and she can inspire. Lanicia, hit me with what you got.
I need everything from the beginning. No. So,
Oh my God.
so no, so I'm an OT. I transitioned to doing working with new parents. So my idea is to have two seminars, Ready or Not Baby is Coming, and from the womb to what. So those are two, pre and post.
Okay.
And so they would get like the nitty gritty, like you're not going to be happy all the time. You're sleep deprived. This is how you handle it, structure it, all that. And then
Okay.
I have mommy and me groups for people that have babies that are 6 weeks and older to about 2.
Okay.
And the last thing is the helping kids with their development through like sports. So like 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, working with a lot of sensory stuff, which working with a lot of things that can affect them down the road when they're in school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to focus on the seminars because that's kind of the journey. They will go like seminars, mommy and me, and on. So the seminars, my business page has like 100 and something people. My email list, since I transitioned from adults to kids, has like 2 people.
That's all right.
So my husband was like, well, we got to do ads. And I'm like, I don't even know where to start with ads. So
But we have a process for that too.
So my thing is, if I'm trying to do get people to come to the webinar,
Hmm.
like I said, I started your book. I'm on chapter 2 now.
Look at you go. I love it.
While my baby is in gymnastics, I'm doing reading away.
Yes.
So trying to build that up so I can, and I assume that we do webinars for free in the hopes of selling to get to the seminar. That
Yes.
makes sense.
That's a
That's what I'm
great
doing.
question. So
Okay.
yes, so when you are first starting out, we want to eliminate the friction point for our audience, right? So if we are building the relationship, we want the webinar to be free. When we start, especially if we are building our audience, we don't want to put friction point at the beginning. You want to build your list, you want to build your database. So you want a low entry point, low barrier to your entry point. So free webinar is going to be the way for you.
Okay.
Now what I like about what you're doing is your programs can follow the child from womb until God knows when, you
Mhm.
know? So your approach is going to be all about messaging. It's
Okay.
going to be all about messaging so that your messaging needs to be so crystal clear where mom will raise her hand because that's who's going to buy, right? It's going to be mom. Mom
Right.
is going to raise her hand and be like, oh, she's talking to me. So have you done the work where you've identified the actual pain points that, let's just say, mom of newborn?
Tired.
You have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I've looked at the trigger points for the new moms. Usually they're tired and they're frustrated. And then
mhm,
even a little bit older, they're all worried about, is my baby developing right? Does my child have autism? Like, am I doing what I need to do? What is tummy time? How do I get my baby is screaming? How do I get? So it's big chunk of it is milestone, and
yep.
then in the first 3 months is more so I'm tired.
So there's so many things that you can do, and a lot of it is going to start with the content piece first. Um, truth be told, they have time to consume your content. Okay, so and I don't know if you got to this part in the book where people have to consume 7 hours of content, 11 touch points, and see you across 4 platforms for them to build the know, like, and trust.
Have not gotten there yet, but okay, got
So
it.
that's what I want you to start putting in a plan in place of what am I going to do and get in front of this audience so that I am omnipresent as they see me everywhere.
Okay, I have started ChatGPT to get some flow out on some posts, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Okay.
And the LinkedIn is more so the professionals and doctors, so they can hopefully say, "Hey, this is being offered." And so, like, I literally started earlier this week.
Okay.
So that's
You like, look, I'm new. Okay, I'm new.
yeah, so I'm trying to get it together. So, with all that being said,
Hmm.
I don't have an audience. Is it too soon to try to put on a webinar? Because,
Absolutely
like,
not. You do have an audience. They just don't know you exist.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, they
There's an
don't.
audience out there. They just don't know you exist. So you, we, I say we because I see you come into our space sometime. Okay, um, need to really work on the messaging so that you are attracting that particular audience.
Okay.
And making sure that it's done in a way where they are raising their hands. And you have so many angles because there's so many different age groups where I think it needs to be refined into where do you want to start.
So I'm starting with the webinars, which is basically like the first 3 months, new moms the first 3 months
Got it.
of life.
Okay. So
That's
that's where
where
your
I'm starting.
content needs to be focused. So your
Okay.
content is going to be focused on the first 3 months.
Mhm.
And so do you have a offer that you want to put them into?
So so the cost of like the seminar is like 250.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they come in as a couple, it's like 350 or something like that. And so that's what I have. And then if they want to do like a consultation, because I can do one-on-one coaching, because you'll have that person who's just like this is my specific, everybody's situation different, but they have the realization like that is different. So I was thinking about like adding maybe like a consultation in there.
So hold on a minute. So is the seminar? No, I just want to make sure I understand, because I see the customer journey. All right.
Okay.
So the seminar, is it in person?
Yes, I want it in person because we're gonna do stuff like learning how to swaddle the baby, how to bathe the baby, so they're not sliding all over the sink or wherever you got. So it's gonna be some of the hands-on stuff.
All right. So it sounds like, congratulations, Anissa, one of our newest members. It sounds like, let me tell you this right here, long overdue. It sounds like the webinar is going to go to the seminar, and the seminar is going to sell the one-on-one.
Yes.
I just gave you your customer journey. You want me to say it again?
Okay. So my
Webinar to
signature
seminar.
offer, the signature offer is just the from the webinar to get to the seminar.
There you go. That's your signature offer.
Okay.
No, if you purchase a signature accelerator and you got questions, no, you don't have to purchase upgrade. You don't have to upgrade to VIP. That's a good question though. No, if you would have upgraded, I would have gave you $60-something back. So yes, so your signature offer is going to be the seminars.
The
That's what it's gonna be,
seminar.
the seminars.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
Yep.
right. And then just right now, I should be doing my social media, my webinar is to focus on selling and giving them information about the webinar and how it would benefit them so they can have
Everything you do, all roads online lead to webinar. All roads online lead to webinar.
Okay. All right.
Webinar, seminar offer.
And then the seminars, that's when I eventually sell the one-on-one coaching.
Yep.
Okay. And the mommy and me. Got it.
Look at that.
All
Let's
right.
go. I want to see you in the signature offer accelerator so we can accelerate this thing.
My husband will be happy, but he's like, I don't want you spending no money. So that's what we're fighting about.
I was going to say, listen, you and your husband book a call next week, because again, I've been doing this for 14 years. The time is now. And I can tell you, there is a need for what you have, because everybody have babies.
Yes. And
Okay.
everybody losing their mind. Yes.
That part. Yep. I love it. All right. I just looked, and so Anissa, I'm gonna give you your $67 back. Do you have specific questions about your business? Or it looks like she might have walked away. Her camera's off.
No, I did. I walked away, but I'm back now. So, hey, everybody. Thanks so much, DeKesha. This is long overdue. Okay, so my wheels began to turn, and that's why I did the 67 to upgrade so I could ask the question. But then when you made the offer, I just went ahead and bit the bullet. I have, as of I've been engaged in publishing for a while, but I was pretty much serving in a role of like the concierge. The company wasn't mine, but I was contractual and I pretty much made all the decisions and did the doggone thing. Well,
Okay.
as of June
Mhm.
of this year, the company revamped, rebranded, and I am the captain of the ship now.
Oh
So
boy.
I'm totally, yeah. So what we offer, of course, we're a hybrid publishing company. So we work with the people who typically would self-publish but have no clue what they're doing. So that's what we do. We have various packages based on the genre of the book.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, however, what we started doing and I've decided to implement was a to invite the author once their book is published to understand the importance of them promoting themselves, how to market their book, the promotions after the fact. And a lot of people lag. They're afraid of that. They're intimidated by that. So in listening to the conversation today, I'm like, do I need to do a webinar on my tagline is your voice has value, because my thing is every woman, career professional in a leadership capacity needs to write a signature book, regardless of their
Absolutely.
role. Okay.
Hold on
So
one
your
second.
voice has value.
Congratulations, Deborah. I see you. Welcome. I love it. I love it. So no, Anissa,
So
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I know,
Like,
listen, I see. I
what
know
you
you
on
can feel me. We in we from the same tribe. So my thing was, should I do my free webinar emphasizing your voice have value, so that they can then in turn write the signature book, and then I take them through the phases of the publishing process and then the marketing part on the end, or should I start with your voice has value to target the people who have written the book, who have published the book, but they're doing nothing. It's just sitting on the shelf, to emphasize the importance of marketing. Do you follow me?
we doing both. And you didn't came into the program, we finna do both. And here's why. And you can do both because you've been in business for a while. So we'll break it down how you could do both. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I have two offers as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how every month you launch one particular offer. But baby, there's 4 weeks in a month. So you have two audiences.
Mm-hmm. I do.
So why are we gonna leave money on the table?
We not, girlfriend. That's why I signed up for this offer. Ain't
Why
nobody
are we gonna leave
playing in
money
the
on? We ain't even put money on
2025.
the table.
No, I had, and see, I'm so thankful you did this, because I was like, okay, this is my baby, this is my responsibility. I've been around long enough to know that people fall into two categories. They're afraid to launch the
Yeah.
book, and then when they get the book, they don't know what to do with it after the fact. So I said, I need to speak to both,
Mm-hmm.
but and could I use the Your Voice Has Value webinar to target both? And so anyway, that being said, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started.
Yes.
Let's
So
do
listen,
this.
I want to send you guys when we'll do our first call. I'm excited for you all. Um, oh my God, I'm so excited for you all. And so Deborah, did you have specific questions? Congratulations, both Dr. Anissa, Deborah have taken a step. They both get the paid in full bonus. Toya, y'all gotta tell me where to get the little thing go. Burr, 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 burr.
Oh, the timing of this is perfect. You know, you and I have been going back and forth
Look,
for a
we've been
couple of,
talking.
and this is what I wanted to talk to you about,
That
webinar.
is
And
so funny.
so this is perfect timing, and we got, you know, whatever this offer is addressing all the things that I need to
Oh
tackle.
wow.
So
Okay.
the offer, the landing page, the whole ship. And I'm interested in StreamYard. I'm surprised you said that that's not a
That's
good.
not a webinar platform. Don't even get me started. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. So we actually have a mastermind member was using StreamYard. Latoya, did she stop using it? I can't recall. Um, she was using StreamYard. But she actually stopped. Yeah, she stopped. And so we have we have an automated one, and we have of course you can use Zoom, but I have one that we use. We have a relationship with the founder. And that's the one that my evergreen webinar is set up in.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you
Okay.
do a webinar, you want to be very specific about like this one was cool because it's small.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you got to remember a webinar is a one-way conversation. So
So
with
you
Zoom,
don't
you
want to interact with the audience. You
not
don't
on a
want to?
webinar, not typically on a webinar. Not typically
Oh.
on a webinar. I had this conversation earlier with one of our mastermind members. But like this is cool because I do the VIP piece of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I when it comes to webinar, I'm very particular on what platform that we use for our webinars.
So for me to do a webinar, do I have to buy into another platform, or
You
like
can
you said,
use
I could just
Zoom.
use Zoom? Okay.
So this is being recorded, but it's not being streamed out. So for my
Okay.
beginners, I do allow y'all to use Zoom. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, Dr. Tamara, like I did yesterday. So I stream to all different platforms to do my hour live, but I use
Mhm.
StreamYard. But
Okay.
when I do webinars, I use Zoom or Easy Webinar or I use a webinar platform. Now, I like to use a webinar platform, which is Easy Webinar, because it tracks the behavior of your audience.
Oh.
So I like to know who's been on the whole time, who clicked the link, who left early. Like, I like to know all of that. My team is on here right now tracking it manually. But if I didn't have my team, that's why I use a webinar platform so that the data automatically transfer and it tags you in my system. Deborah Mitchell left 50% way through the webinar.
Okay.
So yes, Easy Webinar is a fee for the webinar program itself, but Zoom, you guys know, is not a fee. But yeah, so I'm very strategic, as you know. I'm a strategic person. I'm very strategic when it comes to why we do certain things.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome aboard. So here's my thing, like, and you can reach out to Latoya, if you, because a lot of people, if you are on the fence about taking the leap into the accelerator, I would love for you to send a message to Latoya. Latoya, raise your hand so they can find you and let her know what is keeping you on the fence. So, Deborah, since you're still pinned, can you tell us real quick what made you go ahead and push the button?
Oh, well, I've been thinking about doing a webinar for a while, and you and I had a conversation. I was introduced to you through, I saw an interview that you did, and then I talked to a couple of people you work with. They had great reviews, great testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was talking to you about doing something else with your company, but the timing isn't right for that. But this is on top of mine because I'm actually was planning on this quarter to go and start to do my first webinar. And I could have figured it out on my own, but it would have taken a whole lot longer. So I said, well, I'm about
I
time
love
is
it.
money. And I'm like, I gotta save some time. So I was like, okay, let's just pull the trigger.
I
So
love
yeah,
it. Well, I'm excited to work with you.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. All right, let me see. All right, any other questions? Where is I don't want to say her name right. Is Lanicia still here? Well, she was getting her nails done, so she couldn't talk to us.
I'm here. I'm here.
Lanicia, did you have specific questions about your business? And Latoya has her hand raised for anybody that is on the fence. You can send her a DM while we are still here. Again, like I said, we're gonna be wrapping up in just a little bit. I'm trying to double check. My teammate said nobody else is upgraded to VIP. And remember, we will send out the replay to the TI VIPs. So all right, Miss Lanicia, did you have questions?
I do have. I'm Lanisha. I was in the nail shop, so I couldn't type and correct, but I just made it home. So
Okay.
thank you. I'm making my way to my office so I can have a seat.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do have some questions and I upgraded so that I can make sure I get the replay and then also be able to have some time with you to ask some questions.
I know that's
So,
right.
so I have been in business a little over 10 years. I started out with coaching and consulting. She Can Inspire. And my business has pivoted a little bit in the last 2 years. So I am a 7-time author, best-selling, award-winning. By day, I am an assistant dean and professor.
Okay.
By passion, I coach Black women 40 plus on how to show up as their most authentic selves.
I love it.
So that She Can Inspire. My pillars are education, leadership, and authorship.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm out of breath, honey, because I just ran up the stairs.
You want me to hold it down so you can catch your breath for just a second? Because listen, if I run downstairs and come back upstairs, honey, I get it.
Listen,
done.
I am my
Take a
client
deep breath,
because
sugar.
I am definitely my target
my Lord.
audience. 40 plus, we
Listen,
cannot do those stairs
I
up and down.
I get it. It is all we overstand.
So,
Okay.
the thing about me and what intrigued me, I found you on LinkedIn. Over the last year, I have been being very intentional and strategic about my LinkedIn account. I have a virtual assistant who has been helping me just grow my audience there. So here's where we are and where I am with webinars. So I actually
give it to me. Come on.
when you were talking about like your audience language and speaking to them in their language, I'm an assistant dean. So yes, I can present, I can do webinars, but it's academic.
Oh, you ain't got to
So
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna let you finish first because I go ahead.
So that's one thing I know I struggle and I'm trying to be more strategic or intentional with, because I need to kind of almost code switch to talk to my avatar, my audience, and not talk to them like they're master's degree students.
Where are
Um,
you located?
I'm in Maryland, Southern Maryland, but I teach at Georgetown. I'm an assistant dean at Georgetown University.
Okay. I was waiting to see what school you are at. One of our mastermind members is Dr. Erica Anthony. She's
Okay.
been a client of mine for over 3 years now. I literally had this exact same conversation at the exact same time, like right now, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock last Friday, with another friend of mine, and we were all on a call. I think Latoya got on for just a little bit, but it's the exact same thing. She is the head of the business department. She's a department head.
Right.
So
Yes.
of the business department. So again, at Morgan State University, Dr. Erica Anthony. Okay. I mean,
Yes.
doctorate, like PhD. Okay. So she does the same thing. And so she can get up and teach hands down. But it's a different approach when you are building a connection and not giving direction.
Exactly. And content is not a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have 3 frameworks. Content is not a problem, but I struggle a little bit with I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I struggle a little bit with that and just making sure a webinar or presentation that I give on one of my frameworks, like how is it landing? Is it landing? How do I get you to that next step? That invitation to an event, to that signature offer.
So I'm gonna give you a even though you haven't joined yet, I'm gonna say
Mhm.
yet.
Come
Okay.
on, yet.
I'm gonna give you a teaser. Here's how you can kind of test your language. Test your language in your social media, whether it's a live, um, whether it is content like written content. Are they engaging with the content that you're posting? Um, we switched up the content for Dr. Erica Anthony, and she's got more engagement on her most recent post than some of the other language. So now we know how to approach them, because just the languaging, and that's good. That goes back to what I was talking about earlier. It's all about languaging, and it's all about positioning. And even if you do a LinkedIn live for 30 minutes, and here's a takeaway from yesterday. Remember I said, yesterday I did an hour presentation. This is the first time in a long time that I went live for a whole hour. But do you know most people showed up after the 30-minute mark?
Mm.
Most people showed up after the 30-minute mark.
And you actually went live, right? Because there's so many people saying, okay, here's the trick. You can record it and schedule it to assume that it's going live, or to the audience, it looks. Mhm.
I use StreamYard. So I use StreamYard and I'll repurpose it to YouTube. But no, the real so with me, I'm real raw when I'm talking to you. Like I'm real and raw when I'm talking to you. If I pre-record it, you can tell that my stuff is pre-recorded. All right.
Same.
Because the
Mhm.
energy is not going to be same. Like we talked about earlier in the presentation, the voice is not going to be the same. So I thrive off the energy of you all in the room. Period. Right. So that's why I like to go live, because I know my energy is going to be different. Versus me trying to pre-record something and then put it out there. So that would be one of my first things, and especially for like people that come into my space, whether they're in the mastermind or the accelerator. One of the things that I have you all do anyway, you have to get visible. You have to get visible. Like you came from LinkedIn. I don't even know if how long we've been connected, right? But I don't know. I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
Right? But that's one of the reasons why I asked at the beginning. There's a lot of new names and faces on here. When I asked how many of you have participated in my training, There was a lot of new people in here. So now, as a expert, I've got to figure out where you're coming from. Okay? But that means that I'm visible. I think they said LinkedIn, Facebook, and things like that. And then the rest are, clients and from my email list. So that means that apparently I'm showing up on those platforms if it's pulling you in. And watch this, y'all. I ain't ran not one ad to this. Not yet. So everything I teach you or how to get results organically. So imagine if you put ads behind what you do organically. It takes off because it's already working, it's already converting. Make sense? Does that help?
It does. It does. Thank you. I know I was listening as you were talking to some of the other ladies, and I definitely wrote down the webinar to summit or seminar to offer. And I'm being pushed and led to do a summit. I so I'm thinking, okay, let me do the webinar to the summit to the offer. So
And it all
great
depends.
advice.
It depends on what the end result is because the
Mhm.
way I do summits, my summits are different, right? So my summit is a free summit. So I wouldn't want you to do a webinar to a free summit. But if you're doing like a workshop, then yeah. So that's one of the things. Plug, Crystal, I'll give you your book. That's one of the things that we talk about. So let me tell you all this because there's a lot of new people. The reason that I wrote this book over the last 14 years, every launch strategy that I have implemented for myself or for clients that have generated a minimum of $10,000 is in this book. Dr. Anissa will appreciate that. Every single last one is broken down in this book. So, what am I telling you? Lanisha, I'm not teaching you anything that's not going to generate you $10,000 if you do the work. Period. Period. Point blank. I'm not teaching you anything that is not going to work because everything that I teach, and some of my mastermind members they're in here. They'll get to see the breakdown of this on Tuesday. They get to see the behind the scenes of this breakdown of this webinar, how we got to be here. They get to see all of that. Uh, no, it does not come with this. She said, "Does the book come?" Listen, I made my mastermind clients buy a book, okay? But no, that's funny. So you in the right place. Like you were led here. You are in the right place. You are around those that are going after the same goals as you. Um so I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead, take the leap, and we'll see you in class. Hopefully
Thank you.
I did have those hopefully I did help you with your questions though. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Y'all, was this good or good? Right? What a Friday evening. I can't believe y'all spent y'all Friday afternoon with me. Yes, you got a question, Dr. Nissa.
I only wanted to add to what I said earlier is that to have the evergreen webinar,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to and have it run and I make money while I'm asleep, that's the biggest thing for me. And I will add this to Lanice, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Miss
Lanisha?
Ely, Anisha,
Lanisha.
Lanisha, who just spoke. I've been like a fan, that's all I could call it, of the DeKesha for a while. We connected, I don't know how many years ago, but I knew that what she brought to the table had value. I just wasn't in the right place because I was between two opinions about which direction I should go with what I was doing from home. And so I always knew that I needed to work with her. I just didn't know when I would be ready exactly. I didn't want to take the course and do all of this and not have my ducks in a row. And so it wasn't until some things were revealed and things transitioned, as I said, in this year. And so I've been praying. I said, I need to get all of my ducks in a row. So when I hit 2026, I'm rocking and rolling. And DeKesha's name came to mind. And so,
Wow.
DeKesha, I just reached out to you about the funnel system, right?
You did. You
And
did.
I just did that just a day or two ago.
You
And then I
sure
said,
did.
oh, let me go ahead and sign up for this. Now I'm in the whole thing of it. Is the funnel, I'm trying to remember, did I sign up for the funnel system or not?
No, you didn't.
But
But you know what?
okay,
We'll give it to you free for 90 days.
well, Won't he do it?
Won't he
Won't
do
he
it?
do it? Yes. So I mean, so I'm saying all that just to say that when I don't think it's by accident. It wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And while I didn't move when I officially met her, I knew why. It wasn't because of her, it was because of me. So I'm excited about this. So I'm looking forward to all of the things. I'm looking, let me refresh now, see if I got the email already because I'm ready to get started.
Listen, so if you haven't, we'll make sure the team and I are still here, so we'll make sure that you guys get your email with our first session. I'm looking forward to working with you ladies. So, and again, I appreciate you for saying that, Dr. Anissa, because here's the thing that I want everyone to understand that is still here, and you're still here. You know what? Y'all waiting on that prompt. I love that. Y'all, let me tell y'all see how that work, right? Y'all see how that work? Y'all still here waiting on that prompt. But I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let y'all go for real. That goes to show the customer journey. And that goes to show that people are in your pipeline that want to work with you. The time is just not right. But if you keep showing up and you keep giving value, when the time aligns with you and that person, they will show up. Because she sure did about 2 days ago ask me about a funnel because we have a CRM system. So 2 days ago, she asked me about a CRM system, and look at her, and now she's in the accelerator. So guys, don't give up. Don't stop like emailing your list and showing up and doing all the things because your work is not in vain. They're just not ready for you, but they will be. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this Friday afternoon. I will make sure that if you got the replay, we'll send that out to you. Be passionate, be purposeful, but more importantly, be profitable. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.